What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis, holding it down for analysisplayground.com. And we're going to talk about the guy that's coming for the throne. Luka is praised for his ability to carry a team, carry a load, be a great playmaker, trust his teammates, hit clutch shots, take over games, be so fun and exciting. And Porzingis has been a great complementary player towards Luka Doncic. And not only that, Porzingis has had an underrated, amazing season. Being able to be efficient from the field, be efficient from three, be a solid rebounder, and really just give the space and give more versatile scoring than he was last year. Posting up, hitting fadeaway. Hitting the shots over smaller defenders, and being a great free throw shooter at that, and being able to put the ball on the ground a little bit and finish, or even get closer to the basket to get an easy two. And you gotta give credit to Jalen Brunson. The guy has had a fantastic season, definitely in the sixth man of the year conversation. Being able to come in and impact the game, give them a guy that is just in attack mode. He just comes at you, and you just can't prepare for it. It's just something that he has. And you look at Tim Hardaway Jr., you have to put him in the sixth man of the year candidate race, because this guy has been amazing. Shooting threes and coming at teams with all types of scoring, and being able to play off Luka, being able to fit right in with Doncic when needed. You look at Dorian Finney-Smith, has been a great player for them, a guy that they brought in, and you didn't really think he had mean as much as he has been. He's an important piece, and gives them the ability to go small, give them the ability to have spacing, and being a switchable guy is important, especially when this team has been better defensively, like we thought that they would be. And they offense eventually caught up, which we thought too, and it has happened. They have been able to lock up a top five seed, and that's good. Because when you look at the fact that Dallas finished at the bottom of the West in the playoffs, and they was able to take a step forward without making huge changes to their team, just shows you how much they have grown. Just shows you how much better they have got. And a lot of this team is the same as last year. And for them to finish higher and do better, especially after getting off to a rocky start, and Luka not really looking like Luka, Porzingis not really doing what he did as the season continued to go on, and for them to figure it out and figure out a way to balance it out between the two stars, while their role players became more hungry and they wanted to do more, and they had a chip on their shoulder, and they wanted to play the best basketball that they could, and they have. And you want guys to step up. You want guys to have that type of mentality, and you want to see that having a controversial, chaotic beginning, and to end it the way they have did and take advantage of their schedule. A lot of games are easy. A lot of games you're supposed to win, but you still have to win them. And Dallas won enough to be able to lock up a top five seed. And the opposite for the Clippers. They have been pretty consistent this year. They haven't been this amazing team that we thought they would be when they first linked up, but they have been one of the better teams in the West. I actually thought the Clippers would finish higher, but I also don't look at them as a disappointment, because Paul George is an All NBA player this year. Kawhi Leonard is an All NBA player this year, and they supporting cast, even though it changed a lot from last year, they look amazing. They really do, and they do guard the positions that Dallas are great at well. They have Beverly, they have Rondo, they have PG, they have Kawhi, and I can go on and on with Morrison. These guys that they can go small. They can be able to give this team problems on the perimeter when locked in and engaged. And even though Luka and them showed a little fight last year, this isn't the same Dallas team. This team is more hungry. This team is more energetic. This team is more feisty, and they're not scared to come at you. And I said that before, and they can rain on you. This team can let that thing fly, and this team get their swagger and their confidence going. They can hit a couple big shots, and they got a lot of guys that ain't afraid of that. And if you let this team get hot, if you let this team come at you, they'll do just like last year. They'll upset you. They'll steal games. They'll take games. They'll stay in games and figure out ways to win them. If you don't bring your A game and you don't respect them and you don't come at them, They got a bunch of warriors on this team. They got a bunch of knights that's willing to protect the kingdom and protect Luca. And that's what they needed. They still missing that third star to really bring them to a championship level. But other than that, this is a legit supporting cast. And even though I do think they're going to come up short to the Clippers, because let's just be honest, Paul George is the biggest X factor for the Clippers. Will they get Big Dimit P is what people call him. I never disrespected him like that. But he showed up in some games against Dallas and he hit. And in some games he missed. But this year PG has been on a mission. And this year PG has played different throughout the whole year. Last year he had the shoulder surgeries and all this stuff. But it was true. This year he has had a pretty consistent, healthy year for their standards. And he has been amazing from the perimeter, hitting mid range, hitting threes, and hearing people talking, hearing people come at him, and he has responded with a great season this year. And we know Kawhi Leonard. This guy is going to come at you. This guy can hit shots from three. This guy can put you out himself. This guy can step up in clutch moments. Even though they faltered last year against Denver, that was one series in Kawhi history. And that's not, can't really damage his whole career because he has stepped up in big moments, made plays in big moments, made shots in big moments, and has led a team to a championship as a supporting cast and as the best player on the team. And he has weapons. You look at Rondo being able to get them organized, being able to calm them down, being able to make big shots and big plays. You look at the fact that Zubac has been solid at the center position, and he has been, the type of guy that they needed him to be. Cousins is a guy that can be a wild card for this team, hitting post up shots and, being, angry in the right ways. And you even look at the fact that they have Reggie Jackson. This guy is capable for going for 30 any game. And he has done it this year as a starter or coming off the bench. And this team just has a little bit too much firepower for the Mavericks. And Josh Richardson, what type of guy is we going to get? He's the X factor for Dallas because he came in as the starter. He came in as a guy that was supposed to be a jack of all trades, a guy that can rebound, a guy that can defend multiple positions, a guy that can be a decent scoring option when relied upon. But they don't need him to do that as much because they have Luca and Jalen Brunson and those guys to do it. And what type of version of Josh Richardson we going to get? That's going to be a huge part of this series because if he plays major minutes and he can't produce and he's not defending at an elite level, then they got kind of a hole right there. And that's what I said, Paul George. He has to play big. He has to make big shots. And he has to be able to be consistent throughout this whole series if this team want to finish him off early. If not, Dallas is going to stay in games. Dallas is going to make it interesting, and they are worthy of the fifth seed this year. They have shown that these last couple, well, I say the last 2 months. I'm going to go Clippers in six, just like last year. I just think that the Clippers are different this year. I think that Ty Lue is a guy that will get under you. He will make some controversial moves to humble you. He will put out the right lineups. He does have Nicholas Batum, who has been a great defender for him, but also has been respectable from three this year and still being a great switchable playmaker for this team. And he's going to play a big part because he allows them to go lanky and long, which can allow them to stay at the 3 point line and force them to drive. They don't have a lot of great finishers. They don't have a lot of guys that can make plays off the dribble, especially against guys that can rotate and cover. And even if they get to switch, they can defend because they have so many great perimeter defenders that whoever you switch on really won't be a benefit, and it can make things tough for Luca. Well, we get a Luca that can make threes. Luca's going to have to be able to hit shots from all over the court, not to be predictable. Because if they double team him or trap him, these guys going to have to make plays and make shots. If not, Luca is going to have to take some tough ones. He's going to have to make them, and that's what we're going to have to see. His 3 point shot has come and gone these 3 seasons of his career. It has been at his best to a certain extent this year, but it's also not a at the point where you're scared or afraid of it because he hasn't been able to hit it consistently even this year. So those are the keys. I still think the Clippers are the better team. I do think the Clippers have a good matchup against this team. And I do think the Clippers have the veterans that can make the plays, make the shots, and understands how to close and win games. And that's really the huge deciding factor of who wins this series. And I just think that the Clippers have all that on their side, especially if they're healthy. And if Paul George played the way he's been playing all year, it's going to be tough to defend him. Plus Kawhi, plus the role players that they have around them that can always make that pass or make the three or reset the offense and let them guys go one on one and get their shots going. And they good free throw shooters too. It can be tough. Dallas, they still one piece away from being a legitimate team. And I think that they lose to the Clippers again in the first round in 6 games. I don't see it going 7. But the Clippers, they got to handle their business. They saying this, they saying that, they feeling this, they feeling that. Now it's time for them to walk the walk, talk the talk, but it's time for them to back it up. And what's better than putting Dallas out in the first round and showing them that we are threatening this? People ain't respecting the Clippers. People ain't feeling the Clippers. People ain't really thinking that they can do their thing. Well, send a message in the first round that you serious. Send a message in the first round that we're not a team to play with. And if they do that, we'll see what they do in the second round, and that also will change how we feel about them if they dominate this series or they put them away early. So let me know what you guys agree or disagree with in the comment section below. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis signing out, and see you guys tomorrow with the Eastern Conference first round predictions.